Hey guys, are you still curious about some of the top suburban neighborhoods in the Tampa Bay area, but you just don't know which one to choose? Well, in this video today, I hope to answer some of those questions. And so, as you know, let's get after it right now. So there are so many amazing suburbs in Tampa. It's really hard to narrow it down to 5. But I'm going to give you my top 5. And these change periodically, so you have to check back on my channel for the updates. But right now we're over here in Carwood. We're in Carwood Village. We're at the Cultural Center, and you can see the kids have painted this wall behind me. It's quite cute. And I wanted to talk about Carwood. It's number 5 on my list. And as you may have remembered, if you've watched my other videos, I grew up in the Carwood area. So when I drive around here, it's very nostalgic for me. I have some amazing memories of living in Carwood, and I just sold this young couple their first home in Carwood Village where they plan on raising their children. And it just makes me so happy because they were, asking me where's a great place to raise kids. And to me, it's Carwood. And I'm gonna attach Lake Magdalene into that because as you head east on Fletcher, you're gonna head more into Lake Magdalene. It's a small area, so I'm gonna lump it in with Carwood. Let's talk about Carwood. It has a lot of amazing features for young families. You're gonna have the golf course, you're gonna have parks, tennis courts, basketball courts. You've got sidewalks that you can trust your kids are gonna be safe on. Amazing shopping up and down Dale Mabry. You've got the Carwood Village that has everything you could possibly want in it. The Publix, of course. I've spent many, many days in that Publix as a kid. It looks better now. They've updated it. The schools over here are great. Low crime. Now, most of the neighborhoods in Carwood are going to be deed restricted. Lake Magdalene, not so much. And the population of Carwood, I would say, is anywhere around 35,000 to 40,000, give or take. It's growing. I think people are starting to revisit Carwood as an option for them because you can get a lot of these renovated homes. These 30-year-old homes are getting renovated, and most of them are very near, if not on the golf course, or you have some sort of green space, some nice yard. So it is a little densely populated, but it gives you this amazing community feel that if you're looking for a community that is going to support you while you raise your kids, or, again, some of my soon-to-be empty nesters, it's a great option. And as far as where it's located, it is a good location for some commuters downtown. It's still gonna be about a 35-minute commute to downtown, but you're very close to 275. You're still a little far away from the beach, maybe 35 minutes. Don't quote me on that. We're gonna show you on the map. So if you need to be close to the beach, I still wouldn't recommend Carwood, but if you don't mind traveling every now and then to the beach, it's a good option. That way you can get the kind of home that you really want. You're gonna get more square footage over here as well, so that's important to a lot of people. And you could potentially have a pool. So my first-time home buyers, they got a pool and some green space behind them as well that is an offshoot from the golf course, and so it's really great. They're so happy. So let's talk about the average home price here in Carwood. Let's be honest, it's all over the map depending on if it's renovated, how much square footage it's got, but you're still going to be looking at that $515 and up for a basic 3-2. Lake Magdalene, though, and this is why I wanted to talk about Lake Magdalene, it's because it's a little bit more affordable. Some of the houses, though, are going to be older, and again, you're not going to be in the deed restricted areas, so you're going to have hit or miss with communities, but you're going to be in the upper 4s to mid 4s in that area. So it just is another alternative for you if you want to be close to Carwood. Again, Dale Mabry, where you're going to have all of that shopping. And honestly, I come over here to do a lot of my shopping as well. They've got a great DSW. They've got the biggest Target. And across the street from that is the Walmart. And some of my favorite sushi restaurants are over here. Let's take a look at what one of the houses in Carwood could potentially look like that you might be interested in. Fourth suburb on my list is Northdale. But of course, I had to add it in with Carwood and Lake Magdalene because they're just in such close proximity to each other, and they support each other from an economic standpoint with the shops and the restaurants and the infrastructure. So it only made sense for me to add Northdale. I like Northdale a lot. There's a lot of shopping up there that I do. They've got a great home goods and a wonderful little sushi restaurant, I'm not gonna lie. But you also can get a little bit more affordable housing, but you may not have as much renovation in the home as you might in Carwood. Not to mention, there's not as much deed restricted neighborhoods as in Carwood, so those HOAs, they might be minuscule, if at all. So some of the neighborhoods don't look as great as others, especially compared to Carwood. And again, you've got the great schools, low crime, you've got these nature parks with basketball courts and tennis courts and the sidewalks that you can ride your bike on. I mean, it feeds into Carwood, so you're gonna have much of the same amenities as Carwood would have. Again, it's one of my favorite areas, especially anything along Northdale Mabry Highway. You really can't go wrong. Again, for my commuters though, keep in mind you're still going north, so you're not as close to downtown if you have to get into the city to commute for work. And again, you're not close to the beaches, so keep that in mind if that's important to you. But it's still a great place to raise kids. So what does an average home in Northdale look like? Let's go take a look. My number 3 suburb, Wesley Chapel. But of course, I mean, with a population of over 65,000 people, it's basically its own town at this point. And a little side note, we didn't have Wesley Chapel when I was growing up. It was all Zephyr Hills. All of that area up in the North Tampa area was just farmland or empty land. And now to watch it grow and to see what it's become is so amazing. They've got top-rated schools, some of the best communities you can find, wonderful nature parks, recreational centers, great shopping. I was just there this weekend at Cooper's Hawk with friends, having wine, and then we went to the Wiregrass Mall and walked around, did some shopping, had some more drinks. So it's a wonderful place if you're looking to stay in that area and enjoy what that area has to offer. Now, it is not for my beach people and it's not for my downtown Tampa people. That commute is going to run you anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour downtown or even to the beaches, maybe even an hour and a half to the beaches, from what my girlfriend tells me. One of my best friends lives up in Wesley Chapel, and we always meet halfway in Northdale, actually, to the sushi restaurant that I mentioned before. Wesley Chapel is really its own area. So if you vibe with Wesley Chapel, just know you're probably not going to leave Wesley Chapel. You may go a little further south. For all intents and purposes, you're probably just going to live your life in Wesley Chapel, and rightfully so. The houses there are amazing. You're still going to be looking at that $450 to $550 as an average. It's hard for me to find an average because all the houses are a little different. Some are renovated, some are not. Again, because it was a community that got developed back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, some of those houses are now 20 years old. So you're starting to see some more growth with the new construction. So you've seen Epperson Lagoon. I'm sure you're all familiar with that by now. Epperson Lagoon is one of the most popular little water features up there because you're so far from the beach. And not every community has its own community pool. And as you know, as it gets hot here, you're gonna have to have a place to dip yourself into. So again, Wesley Chapel is a really well-rounded community for people that are looking to raise their family in a very normal area with lots of places to go outside and ride bikes and lots of activities for the kids and great shopping and great community vibe. Honestly, it is one of the best suburbs we've got. And so what does a house in Wesley Chapel look like on the inside? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, come with me and I'll show you. And number 2 on my list is Lutz. And so I'm over here in this community of Heritage Harbor, and it's quite lovely. And I was just looking at my notes because I was like, what is the average home price in this area? Well, over here in Heritage Harbor, they're going to be more in the mid 5s. But on average, the Lutz median price is going to be around that $480. So I would still consider, depending on how much square footage you want, you're still going to be looking more at that 500 and up range. But you can still find some older houses, maybe even with a little bit of land, under the 5, but don't hold me to it. So some other things about Lutz that I really like, it's more spread out. So if you're not really interested in being in the city where it's densely populated, Lutz has always traditionally been more of a rural area. As I was driving in, I passed North Star Equestrian Center. Huge. And it reminded me, as a kid, I used to ride horses in Lutz. So again, we've had tons of farmland in this area forever and ever. And then that's why, of course, there has been more new construction homes. If you're shopping for new construction, that's why you're going to see that predominantly going to be in the northern Tampa area, which is the Lutz, Land O'Lakes, Cheval, Trinity, Odessa, going all the way that way, even over to Wesley Chapel, which we'll get to in a minute. Again, Lutz is going to have great schools, wonderful nature parks and trails, good shopping. It's going to be a little bit more spread out, so it might take you a little bit longer to get to some of your favorite stores. Restaurants, they're going to be probably more predominantly chains. You might have to go closer into town to get some of those nicer restaurants or go to downtown Tampa. You've got a little bit of a commute though. So again, you are just south of Wesley Chapel, and you're just north of basically Carwood, Northdale, that area. So quiet out here too, right? So it's a wonderful place to raise children, to have a little bit of land, if that's your thing. Sorry, the sun's super bright today. It's kind of cool out, but it's bright. To raise children, to have a little bit less of that noise and activity. You know, when we go into some of these other suburbs that I'm going to talk to you, especially my number 1, it's a little bit more crowded, a little bit more trafficy. So this area, not so much. Being up here in Lutz, you also have the ability to have a short drive to Wesley Chapel, where you're going to have the Wiregrass Mall, which we're going to talk about, and the outlet malls, which we're going to talk about. So there's a lot more, available to you. You just might have to drive a little bit further. You're going to be a good 45-minute drive without traffic to the beach. So I would say if you need to be near the water, Lutz isn't going to be on your list. But if you don't mind that so much and you really want sidewalks, like behind me, where your kids can ride their bike, or golfing, like I've got golfers right here behind me, great golfing facilities over here, and just again, it's the burbs, y'all. So this home is on the market here in Heritage Harbor, so let's go take a look. All right, let's head on to my number 1. So the number 1 suburb on my list is West Chase, and for good reason. I'm over here in a little area. Actually, one of my best friends lives right over there in the townhomes in West Chase. Here's the thing I like about West Chase. You do have the diversity of some really great homes. You have some gated communities. You also have, again, these townhomes nestled in with some single family homes behind me. Sorry, hopefully not making you dizzy. There's some single family homes over there. And you have some apartment options as well if you're trying to transition from another location, trying to find a decent rental while you're trying to look for property. So that's understandable. The population over here is about 25,000. It may have increased since the last time I checked. West Chase is known for being a very sought after community for a couple of reasons. I think it's because of its location primarily. It's pretty centrally located. It's close to the airport. It's about 20 minutes from the beach and about 20 to 30 minutes from downtown. So if you're a commuter, that makes that a lot easier. In the school system, I don't have children, as I've mentioned before. A lot of my friends do, and that's why they moved to this area, is for the schools. Another thing is I actually come to West Chase Village a lot because it's very close to where I live, and I go to Yoga 6 in the village. There's a wonderful Thai restaurant that I go to. There's a couple of pubs. So you have that community feel with its own little shops and restaurants and community vibe. I have to say I was here for Halloween meeting my friend, and it got really busy over here. It looked like a children's Mardi Gras parade with all of the Halloween costumes. You couldn't drive anywhere, you couldn't park anywhere. And I thought, you know what, next year I'm gonna park myself at one of those outside restaurants and I'm gonna watch the kitty poos walk by. It was terribly cute and it was a lot of fun. So the average home price, and you know, don't shoot the messenger, is about $515K. Now, that depends on how many bedrooms, how many square footage that you're looking for. Also, that's not taking into consideration townhomes. That's primarily going to be your single family residence. And I'm going to show you in a minute one of those houses and what it looks like, and it's nestled right in the heart of West Chase. The other thing that is a bit of an issue is that there's not a lot of inventory over here in West Chase because they get snatched up like that. So you have to keep yourself on a radar. You know, you can reach out to me as always. I'm here to help. We can watch the market together. And if West Chase is on your list, give me a call and I'll keep my eyes peeled for you. And I mentioned those little villages. That's something that really appeals to me. And I think that's why a lot of people come here, is because off of Sheldon and Linebaugh, you have the Costco, you have the Sprouts, you have all of those shops. And then you can go into the village and you're gonna get a little bit more restaurant options, more, I think, better restaurant options personally than what the area has to provide. Don't forget, you're also close to Oldsmar in Citrus Park. So there's the Citrus Park Mall. And then in Oldsmar, off of Hillsborough, there's a ton of restaurant options as well as my favorite big super Walmart. So some of these wonderful little neighborhoods over here in West Chase have homes just like this. And this one's currently on the market. And I wanted to take you inside and let you check it out for yourself. So let's go. So hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this content in this video. Don't forget to comment below which area did you love the most, which area did I miss that you would like me to do a video on. I take requests. And as always, don't forget, if you'd like to have any assistance from me in your relocation journey, I'm your girl, but I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. All my contact information is below. Best thing to do though is to jump on my calendar and we can have a 30-minute consultation to go over everything. Don't forget, I really appreciate it. If you like this video, you'll hit that thumbs up. That really helps me out a lot. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And until next time, everybody, thanks again. Bye-bye.